about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody who.
We are in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go.
Free your mind.
Suppose we go where no man has gone before.
Y'all better leave my cousin alone. That's what y'all better do. Y'all better leave my cousin alone. My cousin Uma doing good work for y'all. Y'all some stupid ass niggas, man. Y'all doing niggas, you know. And y'all ain't getting the man no money. Y'all think because y'all gave my cousin a little money, y'all think y'all own him. Y'all don't own a motherfucking thing up in here. Y'all own nothing. Y'all own nothing. Y'all own nothing at all.
Free your mind. No, you're never gonna get it. Never ever gonna get it. What you gonna be?
Every Friday during Women's History Month.
To ring out in perfect harmony, Terry Ellis becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Southern Gal.
Peace, prayer, and knowledge.
I'm Soul Sister J,
I'm Soul Sister D.
and I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who helped to the medical fundraiser for my uncle Taalik. And it has meant so much to us that you would help, because without you guys, his life would not be possible and we would not be with him today right now. And I just wanted to say, for all of you that helped and that donated, I would like to give a big thanks, and I hope that I can meet you one day and say thank you in person. I love you guys, and next.
This is Palmetto Star, but you can call me Prophet. Prophet Rhodes, the prophet of black supremacy and author of 3 Steps to End Racism right now.
If the world practiced these 3 steps, what would it look like?
Black empowerment, black rulership, The ability to define one's own reality is freedom. 3 steps to end racism right now is freedom in real time.
Why is racism trending?
When hasn't racism been trending in America? It is built off of racism. Everything about America is racist. We have never experienced the world without the shadow of racism, without the terrorism of racism, without the threat of racist intentions. We have never experienced that.
I ordered this book, God is on Trial. I ordered this book from Amazon, and I must say I've read it. It's very well written, very thought-provoking. So, sisters and brothers like Alberta Parrish, again, God is on Trial. It is a provocative, thought-provoking, very real and honest point of view regarding the gods of major religions.
As far as that goes, I mean, you know I still love you, baby. And I'm here in St. Louis.
And it'll never change.
Honey.
I want nobody but you. I want nobody.
I'm out here at the Colored Only Cafe. Can to support Omega Courtney, and this is Newly.
Beautiful sister.
We out here in East Point, and this was there's Palmetto. What's the what's this place?
This is the Core Total Body Salon and Wellness Spa. It's located in the historical area of East Point, Atlanta. This is a center for cultural, family-oriented community commencement, and just couldn't have chosen a better place for the Colored Only Cafe to make its debut. Very proud that brother Palmetto Star has hooked me up with this opportunity, and they've allowed me to be the vending. I right now have the sole vending contract with this wonderful establishment. So excited. All of my Philadelphians, it feels like home. All of my Atlantic, you already know it. All of my ATLians, you already know it's home. But definitely, it has a northeast type of vibe. So please come down and enjoy. We are just here on the weekends right now, and we are Friday and Sundays. But every weekend, you can expect a great time, cultural engagement, awesome meals dripping in melanin. So come on down and enjoy.
And that is Brother Taalik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
I stand for nature. I stand for anything that is right. I'm pro-righteous, not pro-black. I am pro-righteous and not pro-black. So do your thing.
Anyway, you know, I'm done. So, you know, don't expect me to be on YouTube all the time, and you know, because none of you are helping me out. I have to go to work every day. I have to go to work, you know, to make money, and none of y'all are dropping me $5 or nothing in my Cash App or nothing. So don't expect me to come on here making videos all the time, because that's not gonna happen. Like I said, it takes a lot of energy to come on here and talk and make videos and put together, you know, presentations, you know, and you know, all of that take time and energy. You know, I mean, don't expect me to come on here talking and carrying on.
Gomane. Assemble the people of Gomane. We will not be defeated by witch doctors' illusions.
This message. Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person finally. That was just like amazing.
Let's be honest. If black folks are going to get reparations, then they're going to need a 4-star general's approach to it. It will have to be approached in an organized, sustained, military-like way. A flamethrower of a man will have to be the keynote speaker concerning reparations. Brother Malcolm would have been the perfect man to go into the United Nations to pressure the power structure to give us reparations. But he's no longer with us, and his brothers who helped stop him haven't picked up the tab. They weren't serious. If reparations is going to be addressed, then a serious individual like this brother named Taalik Ibn'rad should be sent to the UN to speak before the General Assembly. Taalik has the qualifications to be taken serious. He's been consistent in his seriousness. He's a man that's not going to go into the UN and bite his tongue. He's going to express how he really feels. He won't modify his delivery. He won't flip the script, buck, bow, smile, and beguile. He'll let the power structure know how black people really feel and why they need restoration for the mental and spiritual destruction done to all of us. Go get him, wake him up in the middle of the night, and bring him to New York. He'll come in a clean but wrinkled undershirt with a loose-fitting collar. He might come in a robe, maybe in a suit. He might drive a truck to the UN. But you can rest assured, Taalik will be coming as himself. And once the world hears him, the fight for what black folks need will be over. It doesn't matter if Taalik is the opening or the keynote speaker. All you have to do is hear him, and you'll be hooked. What? Meet you at the old Autobahn so we can rally up and organize the people? Haven't you heard that place is always closed? The old ones in the power structure vowed that they would never again give the people that kind of space to assemble. They are scared of Malcolm's ghost now returning to the crime scene. That's why that place is always closed. This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
All right. Minister Malcolm, when you broke with Elijah Muhammad back in March, you said it was because the black Muslims were too narrowly sectarian and inhibited, and because Elijah Muhammad had become blindly jealous of you and the personal following you had gathered.
I said the first part, but the last part, I didn't say that Elijah Muhammad himself had become blindly jealous. I mentioned that it was his family and the officials in Chicago. Everything that I said always was designed to protect Mr. Muhammad himself, primarily because the image that he had created was the image that enabled his followers to remain strong in faith and things of that sort, and I didn't want to see any adverse effect or negative result develop in the faith of all of his followers. But actually, despite the fact that I tried to protect the Muslim movement, if you'll notice, they used their newspaper to slander me and to label me as a hypocrite and as a rebel, and Mr. Muhammad himself said that I defected. Well, in reality, I never even left the Muslim movement. They put me out, and they put me out because of what I knew, and what I knew was told to me by Mr. Muhammad's son, Wallace Muhammad himself. They put me out and they put him out.
Well, now, first of all, let's find out what it is that Wallace Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's son, told you.
Well, number one, if you notice, the stick that I always used in presenting, representing, and defending the Muslim movement was the fact that it had the ability to reform the morals of the so-called Negro community. It eliminated drug addiction, alcoholism, fornication, adultery, loose sexual behavior, which meant that it eliminated bastard babies, illegitimate children. Well, as long as I knew that this was what it represented and it gave me a strong stick, I could represent it and defend it. But we had a law which was that whenever any Muslim became involved in any kind of sexual relationship with someone to whom they weren't married, that person would be brought before the Muslim community, humiliated, and then isolated for from 1 to 5 years. This was our law. Well, in 1954, a teenage sister left Detroit and became one of Mr. Muhammad's personal secretaries. And there in the Chicago office, she became pregnant after being there for a year, and she was brought before the Muslim community and humiliated and isolated. And a year later, another secretary, this time one from Lansing, Michigan, came to Chicago. She also became pregnant. She was brought before the community and humiliated and isolated. And because the other person was never brought forth during this court session, it was concluded by all of Mr. Muhammad's followers that it was a non-Muslim who was the other party. Well, we grew so rapidly until that in 1957 or 58, the secretarial staff was expanded to, I think, 8 teenage sisters. In 1959, 6 of them disappeared. 2 of them reappeared in Philadelphia about 2 or 3 months later, and they were all right. The other 4 reappeared in 1960. All 4 of them had babies. All 4 of them had become involved with someone and become pregnant and had these children. So it was, from what I now know, when the 4 of them got back to Chicago and began to compare notes, they found that the same man had told all of them the same story and had made all of them pregnant, that the same man was the father of all 4 of their children and had also been the father of the children brought forth by the 2 secretaries who preceded them. So this story was kept among these sisters until 1962. 2 of them rebelled against the person who was responsible and began to tell the story all over the city of Chicago. It caused many of the Muslims in the Chicago mosque to leave and go back out in the street. They knew it, and I knew nothing about it until 1963 when Mr. Muhammad's son, who had been in prison, came out, and he had been a minister. He was very religious and spiritual, and when he began to hear these rumors around Chicago, he went to one of the sisters, and the sister admitted to him that the rumor was true. And it was he who first told me about it. And when he told me about it, I wrote to Mr. Muhammad and told him about it, and he admitted that he had a knowledge of it, and that he'd given me a religious explanation that would fit into prophecy and all of that, so I was quiet. And it wasn't until October of 1963 that it came up again. And when it came up again, I realized that the same person who had made these other sisters pregnant was still busy doing the same thing. He hadn't stopped. 2 of the sisters had 2 children by the same man. And one of those 2 sisters was pregnant still, getting ready to have a 3rd child by the same man. So when it was known among the Chicago officials that I had a knowledge of this, they become very fearful of me. They became very antagonistic toward me, and they had to do something to diminish the authority that I had, for fear that if this became public knowledge, the followers would leave the Muslim movement and follow me. And it was at that time that they used the statement that I made against President Kennedy as a pretext to cut my authority, and some other things happened that finally produced the split, or forced the split. And when I made the split, the only reason that I didn't make this public knowledge was I knew the implications, and I felt that if the Muslims who were in the Nation of Islam knew it, that which enabled them to be so strongly religious and exercise moral discipline would be shattered, and it would cause all of them to go right back and start doing the things that they had been doing previously.
Who is the father of all of these various children whom you have enumerated?
The first one to tell me who the father was Wallace Muhammad, and he told me that the father was Elijah Muhammad himself. One of the sisters, he went to the home of one of the sisters, and when he walked in the door, she says, "I want to let you see something." And she showed him her child. She said, "Here's your brother, and your father is the father of this child." And then I questioned the sisters myself, because I was shook up. And they admitted to me that Elijah Muhammad was the father of their children. And I took it to him. And it was at that time he told me that he was Muhammad, the prophet, and that Muhammad had 9 wives. He also told me that he was David. He was the modern David, and that he was the modern Solomon, and that it was meant for him to fulfill today all of the things that they did back there.
And how many of these illegitimate children did he father with the sisters?
Well, he made 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. One of those 2 is having a child right now. I am told that there is a 7th sister who is supposed to be in Mexico right now, and she's supposed to be having a child by him. For one thing, when you first separate from your wife, it's a physical separation, but it's not psychological. You still have feelings for her, and you protect her. But after the physical separation has taken place for a while, it becomes a psychological separation. It was the same way with me in the Muslim movement. When I first separated, it was a physical separation, but my feeling was still there. And it was only after my trip into the Muslim world and in my pilgrimage to Mecca that I really was able to exercise the objective approach to it that enabled me to see that something had to be done to bring this to light. Otherwise, a whole lot of innocent people would be killed needlessly.
Well, these revelations that you are now making about Elijah Muhammad, what effect should they have on his following?
Well, I very much doubt that any of his followers who really are aware of what he has done would continue to follow him. He may try and justify it by saying that he's a Muslim, and that a Muslim has a right to these wives. If this were the case, these sisters should not have been humiliated. These sisters have been looked upon for the past 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 years as being guilty of having committed fornication. They have been debased, they have been degraded. I have heard him himself refer to them as having disgraced him. So if they were his wives, he should have given them a position of respect so that all of his followers would respect them, and that they would have the protection of his followers today.
Well, do you feel that you then, perhaps, now should take over the leadership of the black Muslims?
No, I have no desire to take over the leadership of the black Muslims, and I have never had that desire. But I do have this desire. I have a desire to see the Afro-American in this country get the human rights that are his due. I believe that the Islam religion is the best religion for our people because it creates unity, and it gives one dignity and racial confidence and all of these things that are necessary to make a complete human being.
Are you not, perhaps, afraid of what might happen to you as a result of making these revelations?
Oh, yes. I probably am a dead man already.
What do you mean?
Well, when you understand the makeup of the Muslim movement and the psychology of the Muslim movement, as long as if I myself, by having confidence in the leader of the Muslim movement, if someone came to me and I had no knowledge whatsoever of what had taken place, and they told me what I'm saying, I would kill them myself. The only thing that would prevent me from killing someone who made a statement like this, they would have to be able to let me know that it's true. Now, if anyone had come to me other than Mr. Muhammad's son, I never would have believed it, even enough to look into it. But I had been around him so closely, I had seen indications of the reality of it, but my religious sincerity made me block it out of my mind.
Have you received threats on your life?
Oh, yes. I first received threats on my life in December. In December. No, not in December, in January. When it first became known that I had come back to New York and told the captain of the fruit in New York, who was my right-hand man formerly, and also the secretary of the New York Mosque and the minister in Boston. When it became known that I had told them, then an effort was made to shut me up. One brother encouraged to go out to my house and shut me up. And fortunately, it was a brother who was well capable of doing so, but it was a brother who was highly intelligent. He was academically equipped to think for himself. And what he was told to do didn't add up. And fortunately, he was the one who put out a feeler to me to find out what was wrong. And I opened his eyes. And then he opened the eyes of the same crew whose job it is to do this kind of work.
You mean he was going to kill you?
Oh, yes. One of them was, an attempt was made to get one of them to wire my car with an explosive. That one is with me right now. Well, fortunately, while I was among the Muslims, I never lived beyond my means, and I have learned how to live within means. And I still have the clothes that that was provided for me at that time. I'm in the house that was provided for me, although we're in a court battle, they're trying to get it back. And I have made this statement to them concerning the house, that they could have it. If they would take me back, that they would permit me to come before the Muslim movement, the rank and file, and explain or defend myself against all of the charges that they've made against me, they could have the house. But they are going contrary to their own laws by standing up in the mosque and indicting me, but never giving me a chance to defend myself. And they say that no one can judge me but Mr. Muhammad. In this case, Mr. Muhammad can't sit as judge because he's involved in the case.
Elijah Muhammad says of the Muslims, we carry no arms, and we do not seek to win victory with arms. We do nothing to others that we would not have done unto us.
The two brothers were sent after me with revolvers by Joseph, the captain of the fruit in New York. They were armed. When a Muslim is attacked, and you'll find this to be the pattern, when the Muslims were attacked in Monroe, Louisiana, Elijah Muhammad gave no signal to anybody across the nation to come to the defense of their brothers. When our brothers were attacked in Los Angeles, again, Elijah Muhammad gave no signal to anybody to come to the defense of those brothers. Never have the Muslims anywhere in the country gotten any kind of instruction from the national office or headquarters on how to defend themselves when they are attacked by outsiders. The only times the Muslims have ever been given any instructions to commit violence is when that violence is directed against a fellow Muslim. His followers are violent against Negroes.
Against Negroes?
Yes, his followers will go out and attack another Negro, like they will attack me, or they will brutalize a fellow Muslim who breaks the law. But you don't find those same followers going out and becoming involved in the Negro struggle in any way whatsoever. Now, the violence that he accuses me of is my tendency to want to participate in the struggle of the Negro at all levels. This is what he calls violence.
One question before we go further with that. Has Wallace Muhammad left the black Muslims?
Wallace Muhammad was put out of the Muslim movement right along with me.
As far as you are concerned, you will accept the fealty, if you will, of any Negro, anywhere, under any conditions?
You have to define fealty.
You want them to give you their loyalty?
Not me, their loyalty. I'm not seeking for the loyalty of any Negro. But I am seeking that for Negroes to learn how to be loyal to themselves. And when the Negro learns how to be loyal to himself, our problem is pretty well solved.
I keep it real.
What, dear?
Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
All right. I just want to make a quick video. Just want to make a point. Check it out. Look. All over YouTube. And this is a wonderful thing. Don't get me wrong. This is a wonderful thing. That we defend and we speak up for our soul brother Malcolm X, because unlike some people, Malcolm is not here. Malcolm cannot defend himself. And Malcolm, brother Malcolm, deserved defense. Brother Malcolm deserved somebody to speak for him. He's not getting really, and you don't expect that he get a lot of defense from his daughters, because you should not expect daughters to be so aggressive to defend their father. And many people just don't like the spotlight. If you stand up for your father, that means you're going to get all this media attention and maybe even death threats. You don't believe that these daughters, they were there when their father was gunned down. They know that there are those out there that will murder you. And so it is fear. So I don't expect the daughters to really wish to come out in the public and speak how many of them really feel, because they don't want to experience what they saw happen to their father. And the grandson, whose life was in turmoil for I don't know how long, but when he began to express the ways and the mindset of his grandfather, he mysteriously was murdered in Mexico. So you should not, and we should not expect the daughters whose lives have not been really, really beautiful, and then you want to put on top of another burden of coming out in the public dealing with these vicious idiots. So I applaud. Hey, how you doing there, Sister Ingrid? Peace to the deacons of reality. I applaud all of us who dare, and me, myself, I'm out here in the public. My face is clear. And some of you, you don't want to be known, and you make all these channels defending Malcolm X and try to expose the Nation of Islam for what they done. I want to make this comment. There are those who believe because of this letter that Benjamin Crump put before the world that's supposed to come from a dying or a dead agent of the government, this is supposed to change our opinion, our outlook, our belief that the Nation of Islam had nothing to do with the murder of Malcolm X. First of all, the daughter of that agent who was close to her father is saying that that letter she believes is fake. You don't hear them talk about that. Talk about that. That the daughter of this agent that y'all trying to use to get the heat from the Nation of Islam. The daughter is speaking out, and she's saying that they did not have a good relation with this cousin that her father presumably gave this letter to on his deathbed. Do not reveal this till after I'm dead. She believes that the letter is fake. That's what the daughter, who was the caretaker and who was daddy's little girl, the baby, that's what she's saying, and y'all want to ignore what the daughter is saying about her father. She's saying the letter is fake. But we don't even have to go all into that. Whether the letter is real or fake, it changes nothing about the Nation of Islam involvement in that man's murder. How many of them, these killers, was accused? About 5 or whatever? None of them, 0, none of them have been proven. None, 0, nada, 0, 0. None of them have been shown to be a government agent. Not one. Also, that mindset to murder, that mindset, that religious zealot mindset is still here today. There are those who wasn't even born when Malcolm was killed. They have told me I would have killed Malcolm. So that mindset has nothing to do with the government. The government had nothing to do with the picture of Malcolm X's head being cut off in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. That was not government control. The government did not control Louis Farrakhan's mouth when he was inspiring, agitating the people to commit this murder. Through the radio broadcast, that was not government control. There was a celebration by these peace lovers when this man was murdered. The Nation of Islam, they celebrated. They was happy that another Muslim was murdered. That was not government control. And they are still happy to this day. Those who was not even born, happy. They smile at the death of another Muslim. Why? Because you talked about my messenger. The white man talked about your messenger. The white man put your messenger in prison. The messenger burned down your trucks, burned up your newspapers. This cracker did all that, and you ain't did a damn thing to them. But this brother that helped you become what you became, 12 years of his life, soon as you get angry and upset, he talking about my messenger. You want to murder and kill. Now, mind you, it's because he was insubordinate. Now, mind you, Malcolm did nothing wrong his whole 12 years in the Nation of Islam. What Malcolm got upset and what Malcolm questioned was the infidelity of Elijah Muhammad, who committed adultery. These was not his wives. They was called prostitutes at the time. They were ostracized from the nation. And he was doing this in secret, behind closed doors. That's called deception. How can you ignore all these things? I love Elijah Muhammad. The reason why I'm talking to you is because of Elijah Muhammad. Everything that I was and am and will be is because of Elijah Muhammad. But wrong is wrong. And even Elijah Muhammad taught me as a child, stand on truth no matter the consequence. I love you, Elijah, but this was wrong. And what the Nation of Islam did to this brother, who gave them 12 years of his life, and took the Nation of Islam from a nursing home, because that's what you was, took the Nation of Islam from a nursing home to a worldwide international phenomenon. Elijah Muhammad did not do that. Your God, your biracial God, Muhammad did not do that either. Malcolm done that because of his love, because of his faith, because of his belief and his sincerity in this teacher, Elijah Muhammad. He was a believer and he trusted you. And y'all betrayed him over some bull doo-doo. Because what Elijah Muhammad was doing behind closed doors was true. It was not a lie then, it's not a lie now. Personality followers, you are a damn cult. Your leaders can do no wrong. Elijah Muhammad can have 10, 12 wives because the Quran says so, but you can't do it. And I tell you, and I ask you, if an old man, old enough to be your 20-year-old daughter, grandfather, great-grandfather, they tried to get with your daughter, you know and I know you're not going to go for that. But because he's Elijah Muhammad, it's all right. That's a cult mentality. That's a cult mindset. So if Elijah Muhammad, and I'm not trying to be vulgar, I'm trying to make a point. What if Elijah Muhammad wanted your booty as a man? So I guess you bend over and give Elijah some booty. Oh, holy apostle, I thought we don't practice homosexuality. This is not homosexuality. This is God's connection from one man to another man. They'll justify it some kind of way. I want some man booty. And you'll turn over, pull down your briefs, and give an old man some booty. That's how y'all roll. That's how you think. That's a cult mentality. And you have those who follow Louis Farrakhan and others. Y'all follow these people. Even these Christian preachers, y'all love to follow these people who don't give a damn about you, and they exploit you. And they use God, they use the Bible to justify their evil. And you go for it. You don't question nothing because they are the all-knowing. So he wants to know about your booty and you're going to spread your cheeks. Praise due to Allah. Malcolm was not a blind follower. That hurt him. You are teaching monogamy, but behind closed doors, you are committing adultery. You don't understand that these people have become corrupt. When Elijah Muhammad had nothing, and I would bear witness, because I was with Minister Farrakhan, when basically he had nothing, they were more humble. But once they start getting money, once they start getting all this praise, once they start getting booty, and Farrakhan got a lot of booty also, and Farrakhan has committed a lot of adultery. I remember there was a speech by Minister Farrakhan, and he was looking at his wife, and his wife did not look like she was happy. But he was talking about how he messed up. Basically, he was talking about how he was cheating and blah, blah, blah. She didn't look happy. But also at the same time, Khadijah Farrakhan is probably not, is like a whole lot of women. Oh, well, I'm getting fed, he's taking care of me. So she tolerated his infidelity. And he got all this fame and fortune. And a lot of women are living that way right now. They know their husband is with other women. They have other children everywhere, but this man is taking care of me, whatever. A lot of women are living like that. These exploitive, abusive, and then they turn around, cause Prophet Muhammad. Let's talk about Prophet Muhammad just for a second. Prophet Muhammad, and they never want to talk about this, Prophet Muhammad, according to the Hadith, which is just as relevant as the Quran itself, according to the Hadith, Prophet Muhammad married a 6-year-old child. And then he had sexual relations with the child at 13. That's pedophilia. That's pedophilia. Prophet Muhammad owned slaves. Bilal was a slave, and y'all know this. Bilal was a slave, the first call to prayer. A slave, because they practiced slavery. Women were slaves, men were slaves, and they pedophiles, and chances are they practice homosexual activity also. Chances are. Because usually when you're doing these things, they do all this stuff together. So, and the reason why those Africans and people over there were Muslims, because they suffered slavery. Just like over here in America, we did. They suffered slavery. Islam was forced on those African people the same way it was given to us, forced on us. That's why they was Muslims. And no, stop telling this lie. Islam has no beginning or ending. Islam started with Prophet Muhammad. There is no Islam until you have this Prophet Muhammad person. There is no Islam. It is not the nature of man. That's lies. That's bull doo-doo. Because nature don't have a name. What is the nature of a deer? What is the nature of a bee? They don't have a name. A deer just do a deer. A bee just do a bee. There is no name for it. Nature don't have a name. But when man creates something, he always gonna name it and label it because that's mine. That's my Cadillac, and they name the Cadillac. That's my dog, I'm gonna name the dog. That's my woman. I'm gonna name my woman. She gonna take my last name, cause that's mine. That's my property. That's how men do. It says in the Quran that Allah gave the revelation to Prophet Muhammad as a religion. Islam is not a way of life. It's a religion. That's what the Quran says. It did not exist. Islam is an Arabic form of Christianity. That's why you have the same characters. Abraham, Jesus, Noah, Lot. They have the same stuff because they come from the same source. And from what I was told, all of it comes from Judaism. All this stuff. That's the father of it all. And Abraham is the root of it all. All of it. You are involved in cult mindset. And even the Orthodox Muslims. If you said something about this Prophet Muhammad, they have no picture. He has no modern day family. You talk about Prophet Muhammad and they want to kill you over somebody they never met. The same mentality that Nation of Islam people have over Elijah Muhammad. But the thing about Orthodox Muslims is they willing to kill anybody. The only people that the Nation of Islam want to murder and kill is soul brothers and sisters. And they even beat them, they even assault themselves. Their brothers and sisters, I wish they would come out, but coming before the public is not for everybody. But they call me. I've received many telephone calls, emails from people in private. They used to be in the Nation of Islam. They was assaulted, beat up. So you're not going to tell me that's a lie. I was threatened 2 times in the mosque itself by Farrakhan idiots, threatening to cause me harm. The only thing I want to do is listen to the lecture and buy a bean pie and a newspaper. I even brought guests. But they angry at me because I don't want to rejoin them. What are y'all? Is this some kind of gang? I didn't know I was joining a gang. Once I join, I can't get out. They act just like they are the Crips and the Bloods. So I'm wearing my FOI pin that I bought. I bought it. They didn't give me nothing. And the brother gonna tell me we should take your FOI pin because you're not a FOI anymore. I told this man, you try to take my FOI pin, and even though it's a Sunday, it's gonna be a bloody Sunday because you're not taking my FOI pin. I paid for this. You didn't give me nothing. They didn't give me a bow tie. They didn't give me a suit. They didn't give me nothing. The only thing the Nation of Islam is a bunch of parasites, a bunch of takers. You always give. They don't give you nothing. They don't give you a pie. They don't give you nothing. No soup. They just take. Give me, give me, give me. And Farrakhan get richer and richer, and these flunkies get poorer and poorer. This is a fact. My relatives have been following Louis Farrakhan for over 30 years. Whatever they got has nothing to do with him. There has been no benefit for them except they feel good because of a speech. They have nothing after 30 years. There's nothing they have they can say because of Farrakhan. Now, there are those who would do good on their own, and they would give him credit for something he had nothing to do with. Farrakhan has produced nothing where people really can say, if it wasn't for Farrakhan, I wouldn't have a 401k, or I got this and that because I follow Farrakhan. No, they did it themselves. And when they are successful, just like in the church, if it wasn't for Jesus, Jesus didn't do a damn thing. You done it. Jesus didn't help you. Show us where Jesus helped you. Jesus did not help you. You did it all on your own. God didn't help you. You use your brain, your talent, your skills. You did it all on your own, and give the credit to this God, Jesus, Farrakhan, or whoever. That's what you done. Give them unearned credit. Now, if God helped me, if Allah helped me, Jesus or whatever, now if they helped me, I would give them the credit. No, I have no problem with that. I'm not going to give you credit and you did not earn the credit. I'm not doing that. They betrayed Malcolm. And you don't want to take responsibility for what you've done. That makes you a coward. That makes you have no character, makes you have no integrity. And you want to follow up behind people that are cowards, they have no integrity. So clearly they're not honest. And you can do that. But again, I applaud those who speak out against this cult, because that's what it is. And I applaud you. I applaud all those who who make documentaries and videos and those who go in the comment sections and defend the honorable soul brother Malcolm X. I applaud you. I applaud us for this. However, I'm going to say this in my conclusion. However, we are using a lot of energy defending Malcolm. And again, this is good. It's wonderful. But if you really want to help Malcolm, the best thing we could do is be successful in the manner that Malcolm would want us to be successful. To do the work and put our work against their work because they have none. The best way we can beat the Nation of Islam, the way we can beat these crazy Muslims, is that our work is real and theirs is fake. Our glass is clean and theirs is dirty. It's about the work. If you want to do something for Malcolm, do the work that Malcolm could not do. And I am here to tell us and suggest to us that the work Malcolm would have done, the work that Malcolm would have done if he had an opportunity, is the same kind of work that I suggest here, and we call it Operation Exodus Mississippi. They cannot beat that. They have nothing to offer that can gain us the benefits that the Mississippi campaign can give us. You can put Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, the Civil Rights Movement, you can put all that together, and if we are successful with the Mississippi campaign, it does not compare. And our ancestors would be very, very proud of us, and we push all these cult crap, push that to the side. The masses do not want to follow a cult. They're not interested in your religion. They're not interested in your ideology. They just want to be liberated. They want to be free. They want to be treated like a human being and seen as a human being and operate like a free people instead of slave. Islam is nothing but another slave plantation. Getting caught up in the political system is nothing but a slave plantation. Being a Moor, Kemetic, and all these ideologies, and y'all following these cult-like leaders, you're just going from one plantation to another. We want to get us off the slave plantation. I don't want a slave master, whether that slave master has a black face or a white face or Chinese face, or a slave master is an alien, or even God. I'm sick of being a slave, a servant to somebody. You should want an opportunity to use your life as you deem fit, following the laws and the policies of some alien, some God, some man. No, I'm following myself, what I want to do for a change. The best thing we can do for Malcolm X is liberate ourselves once and for all. And I'm not talking about 20 years from now and 500 years from now and people talking about, well, brother, things take time. How much time do you need? Apparently you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're not going to go, if you wreck your car, to the body shop and the body shop says, well, you know, things take time. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to go to McDonald's and order a Big Mac and they talk about, well, you know, things take time. You don't want to hear that. So why are you going to accept that from your so-called leaders that pretend like they know what they're doing? Well, brother, you know, things take time. How much time do you need? Give us an estimated. Whenever you get somebody to work on the roof of your house, they may not know the exact time, but they give you an estimate. And you sign a contract they take money off if it's late or whatever. These people don't give you no time. They just keep you going on. It never ends. Like waiting on Jesus. It just goes on and on and on. We don't do that here. Because we know what we're doing. And there will always be a time. Because we know what we're doing. Now, it's based on you, but we still can give you a time. And it's time for all this talking. Malcolm X was not about talk. Malcolm X was about action. So if you're real about your Malcolm X, then you need to unite with me and all of us who believe in Malcolm and love Malcolm. We need to unite with one another and come and support something that's going to represent him. And let's be successful now and show them how it's done. But the only thing you want to do is sit on your ass and make documentaries and film and YouTube videos and run your damn mouth. That's not Malcolm. We don't represent Malcolm. Malcolm X was action by any means necessary. That means if y'all want to try to find a civil way to deal with this situation, so be it. But Malcolm said, I've never seen a bloodless revolution. If you want to throw down, we can do that too. Making YouTube videos and documentaries and films and whatever, that don't change our condition. It does nothing at all. It can motivate, it can inspire, and it's good to defend Brother Malcolm, but that's not what he was about. Brother Malcolm was about action. If you're not about action, you're part of the damn problem yourself. You know better than these Bible thumpers. You know better than the ones that's doing all the research and the scholars and don't have a pot to piss in. You have all this scholarship, but don't have a pot to piss in. What you scholarly about? Still living with the racists. Nothing changed. Malcolm X was about change. And that's why it was important to kill Malcolm. Malcolm was thinking about going to the United Nations. Malcolm was thinking about whatever it took in order to solve this problem once and for all. And Brother Malcolm was wise enough to separate his religion from the struggle itself. So if you join Brother Malcolm and you believe in Islam, that's a part of his organization over here. You don't want nothing to do with religion. You just want to hear Brother Malcolm deal with the struggle. It's over there. Religion interferes with the struggle because we don't know how to separate the two. So that's your personal business. Keep your Islam, your Christianity, your Comedicism, your African spirit, keep that over there. We just want to be liberated. I don't want your religion. I don't want your African spirituality. I don't want your Pan-Africanism. I just want to be liberated from an oppressor once and for all. That's your own personal ideas. That's your own personal crap. I just want to be free. I don't want all this other baggage. Now, once we get liberated, and you think that should be part of our life, our culture, that's different. How you doing there, Metro? Then that's different. You want us to be a Muslim? You want us to be Kemetic? You want us to be a Pan-African? Y'all want us to be a Hebrew Israelite? Y'all want us to be all these things being a slave in America. So we double slave. We gonna be a double slave to you and your wacky ass ideology, and we gonna be a slave to the white man too. Double slave. I don't want nothing to do with your slavery. Sitting around here feeling good. And that's all they do all day long. All these 2-hour, 4-hour long videos. To do what? To do nothing. So Brother Malcolm represented action. It's nice to have a debate now and then. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with these things. The problem is that's all we do. What are we going to do to change our condition once and for all? You're doing absolutely nothing. Laying on your ass, making films, documentaries, YouTube videos, all day in the comment section of the Nation of Islam, redundant ass doing nothing crap. That's not what Malcolm was about. If we really want to help Malcolm, all of those who claim we love Malcolm and support Malcolm, whatever, then you and I, we need to unite with one another and show our people how it's done. And change this condition. Because once you begin to change the condition and put your clean glass against their dirty glass, there's nothing they can do. And the people will be drawn to your clean water, your clean wisdom. You're not trying to convert them to Islam. You're not trying to convert them to Christianity. You're not trying to convert them to nothing. You just want us free. Liberated. Act as a free people. You're acting like slaves. A Kemetic slave, a Nation of Islam slave, a Hebrew Israelite, 5% nation slave. There's nothing different about you. You do your research, slave. You got the information, slave. Because information is supposed to be knowledge, and knowledge is power. Where is your power? You have none. We follow these people, and they're leading you to nowhere. Knowledge is power, and you have no power. It's thousands of you. You give these people millions of dollars every year, and you have nothing to show for it. Nothing. You give these people millions of dollars every year in the chat room, Cash App and PayPal and whatever, and they give you nothing. You should be sick of it. On YouTube, since 2010 to 2020, you giving these people millions of dollars. And what do you have to show for it? Nothing. I say that you need to get on the soul train. You need to get on the soul train. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm a know-it-all. But I know what we offer here on this train can get us out of this condition once and for all. I'm not going to accept taking your money, taking your time, your sweat, your blood. It's not acceptable not to give you something back in return. They give you nothing, and you accept nothing. That's not acceptable. We don't do that here. So again, if you really love Brother Malcolm, then it's time. Matter of fact, it's overdue that we take action. And if you're not taking no real action, the only thing you're going to do is make a video, a documentary, and write in the comment section all that old nonsense. You think just like Louis Farrakhan and all these other cults. The only difference between you and them is that the person that you are obsessed with ain't here. It's dead. And you look at Malcolm X as a cult figure. You ain't no different than they are. You a cult follower your damn self. That is not what Brother Malcolm was about. He was about action. History shows what Malcolm X took a nursing home organization, some retired old folks organization, and made it into a worldwide phenomenon. He was a man of action. He sacrificed his life. He gave his all to the cause. 12 years. Are you willing to do the same thing? If you really want something, it takes sacrifice, suffering. Some of us might even have to die. Malcolm was willing, and he did, die for the cause. So don't come to me talking about Brother Malcolm this, Brother Malcolm that. What are you doing for Brother Malcolm? Except making a YouTube video, writing some stuff in the comments. That's redundant, and I've had enough of that. So what? Malcolm was about changing our condition. Now, by any means necessary. And I say again in my closing, we got the plan to take care of business and end this stuff once and for all. Has nothing to do with Black Power family. It has everything to do with you as a human being. I just want to be free. That's all. I want to be liberated from an oppressor once and for all. Once I get liberated, we can deal with all these other ideas and beliefs or whatever. And while y'all are arguing over that, I'll be on the beach of Mississippi somewhere getting a suntan. I'm not interested in all that fighting over Hebrew Israelitism, Nation of Islamism. Y'all can fight over that. It makes no sense to be bickering and debating all this stuff and you're a damn slave. Because when it's all said and done, you are going to be whatever the slave master say you're going to be. And if he got sick and tired of your nonsense, he'll shut you down. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, religious persecution, religious persecution. No. He just simply put you in a coffin. Won't be no religious persecution. I don't want to hear that no more, Negro. Put you in a coffin. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. But see, if we took control of a state, now you got a chance. You got some power. You have no power right now. There's nothing you can do to try to defend yourself. There's nothing. And that's why they do what they do. And then they give the family of George Floyd $27 million to do what? So the family can go and blow their money on cars and houses and whatever. They're not going to take that $27 million and bring it to a struggle. That's why they don't mind giving you $27 million to slaves. Not interested in your real freedom. They don't mind giving Shaq and LeBron James. They don't mind Oprah Winfrey and all these people making millions and millions of dollars because it's going to slaves. Who's going to give the money right back to their massa? Who benefit their massa? It don't take a lot of us to get this job done. But we have to want to do it. And the best thing we could do is inspire the masses of the people, let them know, get on board the soul train. And they are familiar with that. It's not like it's something new. They know about the soul train. Not in the manner that we're presenting it, but they feel it. Has nothing to do with skin color. It just has something to do with your soul. The soul is supposed to be the essence that make you alive. You're not acting like you living. You're acting like a Negro. I was taught that Negro, the G is interchangeable with the C and the K, which would make that word necra, and necra is the prefix of words like necrology, or necra means dead. So we are here on the soul train, giving us our life back, bringing our soul back, because we sold our soul to devils for trinkets of silver, giving our life for something that has no life. It's time for a change. We can be the greatest generation that was ever produced. We can make a reality the promised land that our Dr. King spoke about. I might not get there with you, and that's another thing we must understand. I might not get there with you, but you're going to the promised land. It's not meant for many of us to see the promised land. Just guide the future generations in the right direction. Like your scriptures say, teach the children, show them where they need to go. That's our job. Make a way for them. Be the adults that we claim that we are. And they'll take care of the rest. Stop being a bunch of damn losers. Aren't you tired of being a loser? We have not won nothing in this country. We talk about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was a loser. He did not win liberation, did he or didn't he? No, he did not. Marcus Garvey got deported. Marcus Garvey was still a slave. Elijah Muhammad did not win us liberation, nor Malcolm, or Medgar Evers, or Harriet Tubman. All our people. That's just the reality of it. They did not win liberation. And they all died slaves. That's the reality of it. But we can take the benefits from them, and we can be successful where they couldn't be. And they still win. So when we win, they win. Now Marcus Garvey is a winner. Now Elijah is a winner. Malcolm is a winner. All our people that struggled in the past, now they are winners. Or are we going to continue on this dumpity-dump path that we've chosen and be losers? Tired of being a loser. Just feeling good. I feel good because I sell some red, black, and green shoes. I feel good because I'm building an African school. I feel good. You just feel good about the little tiddlywink stuff that we do. Tiddlywink, nothing stuff. It just makes you feel good. It does nothing to change the condition of the 40 million plus in this country. It does nothing to inspire the 40 million. We need something that can inspire the 40 million. Just like J. Edgar Hoover was talking about the fear of this black messiah, and this black messiah is to inspire all the people, not just a few thousand. This black messiah supposed to inspire the masses. And I'm here to tell us that the black messiah is us. It's me and you who have the understanding. The black messiah is not one person. The black messiah is persons, plural. You and me, us, that can inspire the masses, because we got the plan today. And that plan is Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. And as time goes on, I see more and more people beginning to understand where I'm coming from. And we've been talking about this for 3 years. It's the way to go if you want to be successful. Want to keep being a loser? Be my guest. You do not hurt me. You do not hurt my feelings. You're only hurting yourself. It's time to be a team player. Stop hogging the ball. Pass the ball to somebody else. Give them a chance to bounce. Give them a chance to make some points. Learn how to play as a team, and we can win. Because racism is a team sport.
Free your mind.